Hi friends, in this video I am giving you fundamentals of economics and management bit questions explanations. It is issued by our CMA Institute. This is for foundation students. First question is, the subject matter of economics is distributed into two parts, micro and macroeconomics. Micro is individual, whereas the macro is as economics as a whole. And second one is concept of consumer surplus. Initially it was introduced by Julius Dupuit in 1844, later popularized by Alfred Marshall. So here the answer is D. And next, price elasticity of demand. If it is 0.5 means less than 1, then it will be a necessary good or necessity good. If the elasticity is lower, then the necessity of the good is higher. The greater the necessity of a good, the lower the elasticity. As it is less than 1, it is a necessary good. So it is not applicable for given goods or inferior goods. So answer is B. The case of rare coins, supply curve will be, students see here the graph. If perfectly inelastic or perfectly elastic, it will be the straight lines. So in case of rare coins, the supply curve will be vertical, because in this case the supply curve becomes inelastic. See, perfectly inelastic is a vertical line. If it is perfectly elastic, it is a horizontal line, right? So in this case, in the case of the rare coins, the supply curve will be vertical. And same is applicable for next question also. When the price elasticity of demand is equal to 1, means unitary elastic, the demand curve will be rectangular hyperbola. So here if you see students, here the price, this is called the unit elasticity, it is rectangular hyperbola, right? So answer is A. Next question, which one of the following is not a factor of production? Actually the factors of production are land, labor, capital and organization. Here bank loan is there, it is not factor of production. If in the case of the factors of production, land will be given by the rent, labor will be given by the wages, capital will be given by the interest, and organizations will be given by the profit, right? Next, the law of variable proportion was first developed by Alfred Marshall. Actually later it was developed by Benham and Samuelson. Students, one more thing, in economics almost all or many laws are developed by Alfred Marshall. If you don't know the answer, you better prefer Alfred Marshall. Which one of the following cost can never become zero? It is fixed cost will never become zero, because whether you do the production or if you do not do the production, some cost like rent, depreciation, etc., it exists. So even though there is no production, there will be a fixed cost. Next, all the factors of production become variable in long run. In the short run, one factor of production will be fixed. In the long run, it is a situation where all main factors of production are variable. So answer is B. Once again, in the long run, factors of production will become variable. In the short run, they are fixed. And marginal cost is defined as, it is nothing but the change of total cost due to change in one unit of output, the cost added by producing one additional unit of product or service. So it is output based. So answer is A. If a firm produces 200 units of commodity X by employing 10 workers and 240 units by employing 12 workers, what is the average product? Average is nothing but total production by total number of labor. In the 200 by 10, that is 20, or 240 by 12, that is equal to 20. Answer is A. Which one of the following is a feature of perfect competition? Actually there is no competition, is called perfect competition. just theoretically only it exists, practically it never exists. So here for the perfect competition there should be identical products, many buyers and many sellers, rational decisions, and no entry or no exit restrictions. So here identical products, it means homogeneous product. In the case of perfectly competitive firm, the demand curve of product is perfectly elastic. Cartel is one form of, first of all, what is a cartel? It is an association of manufacturers or suppliers for illegal price hike. Means it is just an association or syndicate, right? So it is a cartel is a form of the syndicate to hike the prices. So it is collusive oligopoly. First of all, we should know what is the different forms of the competition. That is monopoly. Monopoly, single seller or single supplier. Duopoly, two suppliers or sellers. Collusive oligopoly means with mutual agreement to avoid the competition. So with the cartel, they are going to avoid the competition. That is why it is called collusive oligopoly. Next one, dynamic pricing is mostly followed by, answer is C, online companies. Just here you follow MBA rule, means management by avoiding. Automobile and manufacturing companies, on day-to-day basis they cannot change the price, so it is not the dynamic in nature. Cooking gas supplying companies also depend upon the government norms or other things, so they also cannot change as they wish. And brand name of food companies, means the food companies which have good brand name, they also cannot go for the dynamic pricing. So the only exception is online companies, right? Next, PT is equal to MV is equation suggested by, first of all, M means it is quantity of money, V the speed of money flows into economy, P it is the level of prices, and T is the number of transactions, right? So this PT is equal to MV in the sense the level of prices and the number of transactions of the money is equal to quantity of the money into the volume or the speed of the money flows. So it is given by Fisher. All the following functions are associated with the commercial banks except here for you the commercial banks can issue the paper notes. It cannot print the paper notes, but it can issue the paper notes. So but here it is given that commercial bank cannot issue the paper notes, so answer is A. See, all other functions commercial bank can do. Next one, Gresham's law is true where money of lower intrinsic value to circulate more freely than money of higher intrinsic value and equal nominal value. This is the Gresham's law. Again I am telling, Gresham's law is nothing but money of lower intrinsic value to circulate more freely than money of the higher intrinsic value. So answer is D. So it is applicable for both paper money as well as the metal currencies also. Here he said only money. He didn't say whether it is the paper money or metallic money. It is applicable for both. Okay. It is not applicable for the barter system. And quantity theory of money states that, what is the quantity theory? Means when price level increases, money supply increases. Once again, when the price level increases, money supply also increases. So price level is directly proportional to the money supply. And the growth definition of economics was introduced by, so growth definition, first we will see which definition was introduced by which economist. Adam Smith, wealth definition; Marshall, welfare; Robbins, scarcity definition; Keynes and Samuelson, growth definition. So here the growth definition is given by whom? It is right, Lionel Robbins. Next, according to the law of demand, demand varies. First you see what is the law of demand. When prices go up, the quantity of demand goes down. When the prices goes down, the quantity of demand goes up. So it is inversely proportional. Okay. Next, when excess demand occurs in an unregulated market, there is a tendency for, see here, we have to see that law of the demand. Here, when there is an excess demand occurs, what happens? Automatically the people start raising the price. When the demand is increasing, when the scarcity is occurring, what happens? In the market the people tend to raise the price and gain the profit. So answer is A. So when the demand is increasing, the people there is a tendency to increase the price also. So answer is A for 22. And next, 23. In the case of inferior goods, the consumer purchases less with increase in income, because whenever your income is increasing, you always try to shift to the better quality. So when your income is increasing or consumer income is increasing, always he purchases less with the increase in the income. Okay. So inferior goods he will reduce. Next, 24. Let a firm employs 10 laborers to produce 150 units of output. If 11 laborers are employed to produce 166 units of output, what is the marginal product? Marginal means additional by adding one more unit. Marginal, additional by adding one more unit. By adding 1 unit of labor, the production increased from 150 to 166. Means how many units increased? 16 units increased. So answer is B. A rational producer produces in that region where rational producer always try to earn the profit. So marginal product is increase in production of output by change in variable input. So answer is D. Marginal physical product of variable input becomes declining. Wherever the variable cost is declining, then only there the producer try to produce his goods. 26. In a firm doubles all inputs and output doubles as well. So here normally when inputs doubles, it is not the condition that output also will double, but here both are increasing in same ratio. So it is constant returns to scale. So as input and output are increasing in the same proportion, constant returns. So answer is A. 27. As output increases, average fixed cost of the firm, as fixed cost is constant, average fixed cost decreases when output increases. So answer is C. So fixed cost will not change from one product to other, right? So how many you produce, the fixed cost will remain same. So as the number of units are increasing, fixed cost will average fixed cost will come down. Next one. Which of the first order condition for the profit of a firm be maximum? Profit is maximum when marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. That is, additional cost for the additional unit is equal to additional cost for the additional revenue for the additional unit. Right. So when MC is equal to MR, your profit is maximum. Opportunity cost is measured in the terms of, opportunity cost is nothing but a foregone alternative cost. So for one alternative cost, whatever you have foregone, that is called as the opportunity cost. So here what is the answer? Answer is D. That is next best alternative that has been foregone. And due to the operation of loss of returns to scale, LAC curve is, LAC is nothing but long run average cost curve. LAC, long run average cost curve, is U-shaped due to loss of returns to scale. So here LAC curve is U-shaped. What is the loss of returns? We also know the loss of returns to scale have three phases. One is the increasing phase, One is the constant returns, other is the diminishing returns. So it will be in U shape. Next, the AR curve and industry demand curve are identical in the case of, see again here I am telling monopoly is the single seller. Monopolistic means many producers sell product that are differentiated from one another. Here there is no homogeneity. Whereas the oligopoly, there are only few sellers, and perfect competition, buyers and sellers are so numerous and homogeneous in the product. So here for the 31 the answer is D, which is never exist in the case of, and here in the case of perfect competition. So the AR curve and the industry demand curve are identical in the case of the perfect competition. It is just a theoretical, as I said. Next one, OPEC is an example of. What is OPEC? OPEC is nothing but oil producing, oil and petrol exporting companies, OPEC. So it is just a cartel. Cartel is in illegal association to hike price. So this OPEC countries formed a syndicate to hike the prices of the petrol. So it is a D. Answer is D, that is cartel. Next one, the relationship between the money supply and price level is, if money supply increase, inflation takes place, that is prices also increase. So money supply increases, prices also increases. So it is the proportional. Answer is C. Cash balance approach was given by, it is given by Cambridge University professors. Only this one, there is no name, particular name is not there for the cash balance approach. And coming to, which one of the following functions of commercial banks include collection of checks, drafts, bills of exchange, etc. Here you have to know what are the agency functions. This collection of checks, bills, etc. comes under the agency function, like that making and collecting payments, accepting bills, remittance facilities, and purchase and sale of the shares and securities, giving reference letters, acting as trustees, etc. All this comes under the agency functions. So it is the one of the agency function. And 36, which one of the following is Apex Bank for agriculture credit? See here, normally Apex Bank is RBI, but here the agriculture credit it is the NABARD, that is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Like that. If it is given only the Apex Bank, you have to write RBI. If it is given for agriculture, you have to go for the NABARD. Which of these would lead to fall in demand for money? When interest rate increases, savings also increases and circulation falls. So when the interest rate increases, all people will go to the bank and they will invest in the bank, or they will invest somewhere, or they will save somewhere, right, because of the interest rates. So circulation in the economy falls down. So here the answer is C. When there is increase in the real rate of interest, the fall in the demand of the money will take place. Next one, the rate at which the commercial banks borrow from the Reserve Bank of India is called as, that is repo rate is the rate at which RBI lends to the commercial banks by purchasing securities, while bank rate is the lending rate at which commercial bank can borrow from RBI without providing any security. So repo rate and bank rate are same, but repo rate is with security, and whereas the bank rate is without security. So answer is D. And see, the C and B and C are the same, that is PLR or BPLR. BPLR is nothing but benchmark prime lending rate, or PLR is prime lending rate. It is lending rate by the banks, means it will give loans and other things on basing on that rate only. So here answer is D, bank rate. Commercial banks provide collateral loans against, here against government security. Collateral loans will be given only against government securities. Next one, Dash defined economics as a science which deals with wealth. Already we have seen here. Other four also I am going, other four, regarding the other four economists also I am going to explain. That is J.B. Say, he gave regarding the law of market, and Pigo, he gave relationship between the various economic variables, and Marshall given the welfare definition, Robbins is given the scarce definition. So answer is C. Next one, dash goods are known as scarce goods. It is nothing but economic goods. Dash is the first law of consumption, that is the law of diminishing marginal utility. It is the first law of consumption. See, law of demand is not the law of consumption, and the law of increasing returns is not the law of the consumption, right? So you can avoid B, C and D. So finally the law of diminishing marginal utility. Utility is the consumption. Factors of production may be of four types. Already we have seen, that is land, labor, capital and organization. The law of variable proportions related to short run only, because in the long run everything will become variable, or in long run even the variables will become fixed. So that's why in long run this law of variable proportions and other things will not work. So it works only in the short run. The total dash curve will be horizontal line, that is fixed cost. Why? See, in this diagram you can see the total cost, it will be U-shaped, it is going from down to up, and the variable cost also will go up, whereas the fixed cost, there is no change in the fixed cost. Whatever the output it might be, fixed cost is remaining constant, so it is horizontal line. The supply curve always slopes. See, in this diagram you can see that the supply curve and demand curve. Supply curve is, this is the supply curve, and this is the demand curve. Demand curve slopes from left to right, whereas the supply curve is slopes from right to left. Okay, so answer is A. So it is in the upwards. So demand curve will be in the downwards. Next, dash is the center of all marketing policies. For why the marketing policies will be done? Only for the sake of product, to promote their product. In long run, a firm in perfect competition earns. In the long run, perfect competition earns normal profit only. Okay, there is no abnormal profit or 12.33%, such profits will not be there. Oligopoly means, already we have seen, oligopoly nothing but few sellers. And penetration pricing is adopted by following. Penetration means inserting into the market. So to insert your product into the market, you have to reduce your price. So it is low price. Next, when the price of a complementary product falls, the demand for other product will be. See here in this table you can see, when there is a complementary, the complementary is petrol and car, means one depend upon the other. When the price in the petrol increases, demand in the car will falls down. Okay, that is the complementary. And if it is substitute like Boost and Bournvita, if price in the Boost increases, demand for the Bournvita increases. So I think you can know the answer now. So when the price of the complementary product falls, the demand will increase. Answer is B. And the primary functions of the money are dash types. See here the money, the primary functions are, actually it is given here three types: primary functions, secondary functions and contingent functions. So here he is asking only about the primary functions. Again, primary functions are divided into two, that is medium of exchange, measure of value. So answer is 2, that is A. 53rd question. The money supply affects the rate of interest. When the money supply increases, rate of interest will decrease. This explanation is given by Keynes. It is theory of money. Theory of money is given by Keynes or Keynesian theory. It is called as Keynesian theory. Next, SDRs are used in the place of. What is SDR? SDR is nothing but special drawing rights. These are the units of account for IMF, International Monetary Fund, and not a currency per se. Used in the place of gold and US dollars. So here in our answers gold is there, so answer is B. SDRs are used in the place of gold. And next 55, dash is one among the qualitative credit control instrument used by the RBI. Actually RBI to control the credit, it will use qualitative and quantitative techniques. Quantitative are total volume of credit in the banking system, etc. It affects the volume, whereas the qualitative to regulate the flow of the credit into particular direction. So here you see bank rate policy, and bank rate policy is not a qualitative, it is a quantitative. Bank rate quantity, and open market operation is a quantity based, cash reservation is a quantity based. So moral solution is the qualitative based. So answer is B. Next, money market is controlled by, it is in India, it is RBI. And on the basis of the functions, financial markets are classified into two types. That is answer is D, capital markets and money markets. And next, welfare definition, again it is repeated, Alfred Marshall. And microeconomics deals with, first question we have seen there are two types of economics, micro and macroeconomics. Micro is individual, macroeconomics economy as a whole. Next, point elasticity was propounded by Alfred Marshall. Production creates dash utility, means it is a form utility. Production creates form utility, it's not place, time or position. If it is consumption, then consumptions also create the utility, but it is production creates the form utility. Next, a production function refers to relationship between input and output. Production function is nothing but how much input you kept inside, or how much input you brought, and how much output you have given outside. So it is a relationship between inputs and output. Next one, dash cost remain constant even the production is stopped. That is nothing but fixed cost. Whether you do the production or stop the production, or you produce the minimum or maximum, whatever it might be, the fixed cost remains constant. Next one, dash refers to the quantity of a commodity which a firm is willing to produce and offer the sale. That is individual supply. Market supply means market as a whole, not an individual firm. Here in the question it is given commodity which a firm, that is one firm, is willing to produce, it is called individual firm. So it is individual supply, and it is going to supply means it is going to produce, not demand. So C and D are wrong. It is neither individual demand, neither the market demand. It is not the market supply also. So it is individual supply. On the basis of the area, markets are classified into, answer is B, that is three types: local market, national market and international market. Whereas on the basis of the period, it is divided into four types, that is very short term, long term, very long term markets. And total input is maximum. See here, you see you can see the diagram. In this, see when the MP means marginal MP is equal to 0, then total production is maximum. So total input is maximum when MP is equal to 0, right? Next, which of the following does not characterize monopolistic competition? Monopolistic competition is absence of advertising. So in the monopolistic competition, product differentiation will be there and many producers will be there. So answer is C. Next, price for selling the same commodity at different selling prices is also known as skimming. Skimming means charges a high initial price and then gradually lowers the price. That is called the skimming price. So here the question is not that one. Next one here, next if we go to the penetration of penetration, it is the low pricing, means to introduce into the market we will raise the price. And next one it is cost plus pricing, means the price depend upon the cost what you are producing. If cost is 100, if you want the profit of 2 rupees, you will sell it for the 102 rupees. That is called cost plus pricing. So here the answer is differential pricing. So pricing for selling the same commodity in different selling prices, means in one area one price, in other area other price, or for one person one price, for other person other price. This is called as differential pricing. In a perfect competition, a firm earns supernormal profit when AR of the firm is dash of AC, not a ACT, it is AC. AC of the firm. The answer is B, that is exceeds. Means when average revenue, AR is nothing but average revenue, AC is the average cost. When average revenue is more than the average cost, automatically you will get the abnormal profits. Dash refers to the market situation where there is only one seller, that and there is no close substitute, that is monopoly. And cash money is created by dash. Who will create the cash money? It is Central Bank of India, that is RBI. And money is what money does. This definition is given by Professor Walker. And traditional function of the commercial bank is traditional function of the bank is nothing but D, acceptance of deposit. Previously means initially banks formed for the purpose of accepting deposit and lending loans, and afterwards this credit creation, providing local facilities, or issuing of gift checks, etc. came into existence. And next one, dash is one among the quantitative methods of credit control. See, last time we have seen what is the qualitative and quantitative. Here quantitative measurement is what, that is bank rate policy. This is quantitative. And other three, moral suasion, direct action, rationing of credit, these are qualitative, right? Next one, securities market in India is regulated by SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India. Next one, dash market is the nerve center of the financial system. In financial system there is money market and capital market, but the main market, main nerve is money market. Answer is A. Coming to next one, 77, dash is the father of economics. Father of economics is Adam Smith. Even though Marshall given many economic theories, Adam Smith is known as the father of economics. Dash is an act to use the goods or services to satisfy the wants. If you are satisfying in them, means you are consuming them. So consumption. Production is the creation of utility, we have seen earlier. Consumption is satisfying or utilizing. The law of diminishing marginal utility is developed by Alfred Marshall. Dash demand is also known as direct demand. See, types of demand are like individual demand and market demand, organizational demand, industrial demand, autonomous demand and derived demand, demand for perishable goods and demand for durable goods, short term demand and long term demand. Individual demand means individual demand for a particular item. Market demand, a demand in the market as a whole. And organization demand, a particular organization. Industry as a whole. Autonomous demand is nothing but the direct demand, whereas derived demand means it depend upon the other goods. Autonomous demand in the sense it never depend upon the demand or price of the other goods, whereas derived demand means it will derive the demand from the other goods pricing or other goods demand. So autonomous demand is also called as the direct demand. Then total outlay method of measuring elasticity of demand was introduced by Alfred Marshall. When two or more different goods are produced together by a single firm, it is called, see, two firms came together and started producing, it is called joint supply. Now, dash is a gift of nature. See, gift of the nature is land. Labor, capital and organization, it will form by us, whereas the land, it will come from the nature. There are dash stages of law of variable proportions. That is, there are three stages in the variable proportions: the increasing, constant and decreasing. And which factor of production is considered as produced means of production? Produced means of production is answer is C, that is capital. Next one, dash means transformation of physical input into output. So you are taking some input and you are converting into output. It is nothing but production. 86, answer is B. Next one, dash cost is also known as alternative cost. Alternative cost is nothing but the opportunity cost. Means alternative, you are losing, you are giving some opportunity. If you are putting some cost, or if you are investing somewhere instead of investing in the bank, means you are losing this opportunity. So the cost you are going for some alternative. So alternative cost is nothing but opportunity cost. The additional cost incurred to produce an additional unit of output is additional cost for additional. It is nothing but marginal. So marginal cost. On the basis of the time element, market can be classified into, we have seen already earlier, it on the base of the period, it is divided into 4 types, right? That is long, very short term, long term, very long term. So on the basis of the time element, we can divide market into 4 types. Answer is C. Dash competition exists when the basic features of perfect competitions are not present. That is imperfect. So imperfect, if it is not perfect, it is the imperfect competition. Next, the dash states that bad money drives good money out of circulation. That is nothing but Gresham's law that we have seen earlier also. Quantity theory of money is explained by, quantity theory of money is given by Fisher. Dash account can be opened by business persons only. What is current deposit accounts only can open by this business person. Saving deposit, normal persons also can open. Fixed deposit and recurring deposits also, it is given to the normal persons. In India, central bank was established in, so in which year it was established? It is established in 1935, means earlier to our sovereignty or earlier to our independence. In 1935, this central bank was established. Now it is called as RBI. Wealth definition was given by, we know it is Alfred Adam Smith. Alfred Marshall was given which definition? Right. Next, income minus savings is equal to, income minus savings is equal to our consumption. Dash means the desire backed by the necessity of purchasing power. If we have desire, that is not the demand. Your desire should have some purchasing power. For example, if I want to buy one BMW car, that is not the demand for it. If I have money to buy that one, then if I have the purchasing power, then only I can say there is a demand for that. Next one. So answer is D. If the proportionate change in the supply is equal to the proportionate change in the price, it is said to be dash supply. That is unitary. When supply and the price supply is equal to price, means change of percentage in the supply is equal to change of percentage in the price, or change of percentage in the demand is equal to change of percentage in the price. These are all called unitary elasticity. Here it is unitary elasticity of supply, there it is unitary elasticity of demand. Right. Next one, production creates. Production creates, again it is repeated question, it is form utility. The law of variable proportions was developed by Alfred Marshall, again repeated. Dash means absence of competition. If there is no competition, it is monopoly. The rate at which commercial banks borrow at, already again it is repeated, at bank rate. And in a competitive market, he will reduce the price, or he will do other skimming price, or whatever it might be, he will take some price decision. So he is in competitive market, firm is the price maker. Long run equilibrium price is also known as normal price. In the long run, everything will become normal. Next, dash is a qualitative credit control instrument used by the central bank. Central bank use moral suasion. This also again it is repeating. And next, 109, dash is established as apex bank for the industrial credit. Apex bank for the industrial credit is IDBI, whereas apex bank is RBI. Apex bank for agriculture credit is NABARD. Next, financial market are classified into money market and capital market. Next one, commercial paper was introduced in Indian money market in January 1990. See, in our not only commercial paper, many things are introduced in 1990s only, because at the time LPG came into existence. Liberalization, privatization, globalization. Next, economics of scales are divided into dash types. Economics of scales are the cost advantages that enterprises obtain due to their scale of operation. When the scale of operation increases, automatically cost comes down. These are the two types. One is internal economies, other is external economies. So answer is 2. On the basis of competition, markets also classified into perfect and imperfect. Only 2. Perfect and imperfect. In imperfect is monopolistic, oligopoly, duopoly, everything comes under the imperfect. So students, these are the bits. First of all, you go through these bits. Okay, if you have the time, then go for the other MCQs. Right? Best of luck, and in the next video we will see regarding the other MCQs. Thank you.